Alright, here we go. This is episode 2 of Freelancing 101. In this episode, I'm going to cover the getting started aspect of freelancing. How do you get started with freelancing and all that stuff. So if you are someone who wants to get started with freelancing, this is definitely the video that you would want to watch. Hi, I am Mohammad Qureshi, the founder and head ninja of Qureshi Creatives. I started this YouTube channel to really share my story, that how I got into freelancing, and also to document my journey as a web agency owner. When I started with freelancing, there was no one really to help me and guide me at each and every step of freelancing. But lucky enough for you guys that I am willing to cover all that stuff in this video series, Freelancing 101. You are watching episode 2 of Freelancing 101. In episode 1, which you can watch here, I covered the basics of freelancing and I looked at freelancing from the business point of view, and I really pushed you all guys to start freelancing. In this particular episode, let's talk about getting started with freelancing. Alright, before you can start with freelancing, here is what you have to do. You have to decide that what you are going to offer. Either you are going to offer web design services, graphic design services, and development or writing services. You have to decide one and become the best in that field. Most people make the mistake of going all in multiple fields. They decide to do web design, they decide to do graphic as well, and then writing as well, and that doesn't really help them. Look, here's the scenario. There's a guy named Hamza, and he wants to build a website for his new startup idea that he just came up with. And he goes to a freelance platform. Let's say he goes to Fiverr and he searches for freelancers. And let's say there are two freelancers that came up in his search, Mr. A and Mr. B. Now Mr. A offers only web design services, and Mr. B offers web design services, graphic design services, and development services, and writing as well. Now who do you think Hamza is going to hire, Mr. A or Mr. B? Mind you, Mr. A only offers web design services, and Mr. B is jack of all trades. He is offering web design, he is offering graphic design, he is offering Android as well, and writing as well. Now who do you think Hamza is going to hire, Mr. A or Mr. B? I believe Hamza is going to hire Mr. A. Why? Because he is going to think that this guy only offers web design services. This means that he must be good in what he does, and because he is not jack of all trades. So what you have to do, that you have to take a week or so to really decide that what you want to do in freelancing. Once you're done with that, the next step is to build a portfolio. That is, do some work, some free work. Yeah. Alright, so if you choose web design services in the first step, you would want to build a website for someone for free. Or if you choose graphic design, you would want to generate some graphic design for someone. Or if you choose writing services, you would want to write some articles for free for someone. Now let me tell you why this is super important. Do you recall Hamza? Yeah, the guy who wants a website built for his new startup idea. Well, he is still looking for a freelancer. This time again he contacts two freelancers, Mr. A and Mr. B. This time Mr. A has some work to show to Hamza, and Mr. B does not have any portfolio to show to Hamza. Now who do you think Hamza is going to hire, Mr. A or Mr. B? Definitely Mr. A. Why? Because he has something to show to Hamza. He has got something to show to Hamza that yes, I can do this job because I have done this job previously. Some of you might be thinking that how to do that. Let me share an interesting story with you. Some months ago, a guy from Nigeria, won't take his name, texted me on Facebook Messenger and complimented me for my work on Qureshi Creatives, and he said that I'm doing a great job and all that. After a few messages, he mentioned that he's a copywriter and he writes copy for websites, that is web copy, and he asked me if I want a web copy for my website QureshiCreatives.com, and I said yes, I want that. And he said that in return he would just want me to refer some clients to him. That is, if someone from my circle wants a copy written for his website, I would just refer them to him, this guy from Nigeria. I said yes, sure, and he did a really good job. I think that it took a day or two for him to get it all done, and it was amazing. It was a great web copy for my website, and I did not pay him. I did not pay him, but what he did was that he just made me his future paying client because he did a really great job. And on top of that, I would also refer all the clients that I have and who wants to get a copy written for their website. I would just refer all of them to that guy. Did you see that? Did you see that? This guy just take a day or two from his time and wrote a web copy for me and just made me his future paying client. And also I would refer all my clients who want web copy written for their websites to this guy. I'm saying all of you, please do this. Let's sum up this episode. In this episode, I have covered the getting started aspect of freelancing. So if you want to get started with freelancing, the first step you have to do is to decide what you are going to offer. Once you're done with that, you have to build a portfolio. Do some free work, a couple of free work to build up your portfolio. Those two steps are really the 50% of getting started with freelancing. And there is 50%. I'm going to cover all that stuff in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned and consider subscribing. Comment down below what services are you going to offer. Are you going to offer web design services? Are you going to offer graphic design services? Are you going to offer writing services? Comment down below and let me know. See you in next week with episode number 3.